Hey there, Soul Shines. My name is Michelle, and it's a creative expression video where I share with you what I finished, what I'm working on, which is called a work in progress, whips, what's going on in life, things like that, kind of what I'm learning about, all the things. So let's get started, and let's first talk about I actually have a tutorial coming out. It should be ready to be watched a week from today. So you're watching this on a Monday or later, but it's coming out. This will be posted on Monday. And then the following Monday is when I should have the tutorial. And it's a strap tutorial, so straps for purses and bags and things like that. That is what I have. I am almost done with the editing process. Really excited about that because it's been since December since I last did a tutorial. So it's good to be back and doing that and hoping that things work out with that. So that's the first thing. Let's talk about finished objects. First, we're going to talk about socks, and I've already given them to my son. I finished them. Can you believe it? I finally finished my son's socks. They only took me months to make. He loves them. I was really surprised, but he's like, yeah, he's like, I like them, and they're really warm. And it does get cold in the basement, even though it's summer. There should have been a picture, or will be a picture, of the socks. And then the other finished object, which I haven't decided if I'm going to do a tutorial. It would be a knitting thing. And this is because it is the month of May, and there's this thing called Mermaid, where you make something mermaid for May. And so I made this little mermaid tail thing. This is actually supposed to be a freezer pop holder, so it's got a tube. So it's got a fun little stitch that looks all like scales and stuff. And you can put the frozen freezer pop down in through it, and then the kids can hold where it is and stuff. So I'm making those for my grandkids. So I've got this, and then I'll be making some more. I haven't decided if I'm going to actually write up a pattern. This was my first one, and although it's super cute, I don't know how easy it would be to continue doing those. And honestly, because I don't have freezer pops, I have not actually tried it to see if it would fit, but I think it would. Plus, because of the cast on, this doesn't have a lot of stretch, but this bottom the way that this is done actually has a lot of stretch there, so that's kind of fun. And I'm thinking might want to put that on a sock. So those are my finished objects. I will be making at least one more of these, maybe a few more. I just have so many things to do, but I think it'd be fun to make these up and kind of sell them to people or give my grandkids extra. Could make it taller for if, because this is kind of because my grandson just turned 3 and my granddaughter's turning 5, so they still have little hands, but maybe making it bigger would be a good idea for bigger hands and have it like up higher. But this would be perfect for if you cut a popsicle in half. So I bought that, a little popsicle cozy. Ongoing thing that this is kind of an in-between a finished object and a whip, because I finished everything that I can finish until the June piece comes out. So this is the Mystery Crochet Along from Expression Fiber Arts. And I did catch up, and I did the May piece up here at the top. So that's pretty fun, and it's getting to be kind of longer and stuff. And so I'm really liking this. It's a sport weight lot yarn, which is kind of fun to make a lighter weight mandala. It could be an afghan, or folded up it can be a shawl, and I'm thinking this is pretty fun. And this reddish color up here, this is my favorite of the yarns that I have. So yeah, I got that done. and looking forward to the June clue. Got Millie. So again, I update these on Sundays, but I record the video. Today's Friday, but I usually record on Thursday. If Thursday's crazy like it was yesterday, then I record on Friday. So by the time you watch this, she's a week old. She's a week behind, but she's caught up. We've definitely had a warmer spell. I love having long hair. I don't like having long hair. So we've had a warmer spell. We haven't gotten up into the highest temperatures, and I hope that we don't do that for a few months, but we are definitely into the summer colors. I think it's kind of fun where the changes are, and you go from the blue, all the way across. Get a little warm, go into the blue, some more warm, go back into the blue, and then you start getting to where for the next few months, it's probably going to be almost all these warm colors, and then we'll go back in the fall and kind of do a little bit of this mix again and go back into our cold colors. So that'll be interesting. I just realized I goofed up. Oh my goodness. So back here in January, and I can't believe I did this. Back here in January, there is a sparkle color. There's this purple color from when it was like a really, really low temperature, lower than expected. And then there's a sparkle one here. The sparkle one was my son's birthday. However, there should be a sparkle one somewhere, probably in here, because hello, it was my daughter's birthday. I cannot believe I missed putting sparkle on my daughter's birthday. Now I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. Like, am I just gonna undo it and go from there again? Her birthday was April 27th. That's like a whole month ago. 26th, so literally tomorrow's a month. And this is a few days behind. So we got like 3 weeks worth. So probably somewhere right around in here is where I forgot to do sparkles. I may have to undo that. And then yesterday was my grandson's birthday. And so I'm just gonna have to find a way. I have a thought on how to make sure I don't do that again. So now I'm gonna have to put this in the, what am I going to do? Can I figure out how to put the sparkle embroidery thread in and just kind of fudge it in so that it's there, but it's not crocheted in right? I don't know. We'll figure that out. Those, to me, those are the in-between projects because I can't really, I mean, like technically I could have done a few more days on Millie, but they're kind of I can't do anything more with them because we are in, I have to wait for the weather reports and things like that. So now let's move on to works in progress. Like I said, I want to make, those are plans, but I want to make more popsicle holders. This one here, I am like, seriously, it's really hard for me to put it down and do something else. I'm just so in love with what I'm doing here. This is the beginnings of a sweater. So I realized that as much as I love this rose color, I think it will be prettier on my daughter, so she might actually end up with the sweater. But it's really fun. I've gotten so far in just such a short period of time. And this is, oh, I didn't bring the thing. This is drops yarn. It says it's an Aran weight, but honestly, I don't know. To me, it's thinner than even like worsted weight cotton. But it's a drops yarn, and then this is a drops pattern. And I will put a link to the pattern down below in the description. So if any of you guys are interested in it, this is my first time knitting a sweater. So that's pretty fun. I've been using kind of a magic loop method, but instead of just like leaving it with like the little hole in, like on my socks, I knit across and then I just shift things around like people do with magic loop. On the sweater, like I've gotten to the end of this needle, what I do is I kind of pull this back here and then start, so that I don't have to worry about any of the possible loop things, because now these are on here. So I just kind of do that throughout. So it's like a magic loop, but I shift a few of the last row on, so it just keeps shifting. So no matter what, I keep a thing. And I am using my little kitty cat stitch marker, and that's pretty fun. So I'm really excited about this one. I can't put it down yet. I have a feeling though, because I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna double check because I have the pattern. No, I don't have the pattern open. Yeah, sorry, I went and double checked. Once I get past the yoke and it's got this little bit of pattern, which is kind of like a ribbing pattern, but this purl section just keeps getting bigger as it goes down, and that's where the increases are. And then these stay in these 4 knit columns all the way. And then after the yoke is done, then the body of the sweater is just stockinette, and then it's got a ribbing at the bottom. And so I may get to a point on this where I'm just kind of like, okay, and I may have to start forcing myself to work on it, because it might get to a point where just doing stockinette all around the body might be boring. But for now, doing the yoke, I'm just like, this is so much fun. And this is my first time making a sweater. Knitting a sweater. I have made a couple of things crochet that my daughter actually wears hers all the time, so that's kind of fun. I put this in my tote of things to remind me to tell you I haven't been working on my daughter's gloves very well, because so I have the little beginning. This is black and small, and I don't have my glasses on my head, but I have to wear glasses a lot of times when working on things, and I can't really see what I'm doing. So it's gonna have to take a time where I sit with my thing, turn my light on. Did somebody unplug this? So I'm gonna have to use this to work on it, and in order to do that, I have to sit in this chair, and that's just sometimes not always what I want to do. So I do need to sit down and say, it's time to work on this and get my daughter's gloves made. So that's why I haven't been working on those. Another knitting project, and the gloves are crochet project. Another knitting project I did pull out. I had done the toes on these. I did the toes on these quite a while ago, like sometime last year. These are 100% alpaca. I'm excited about this because I got it, not knowing whether or not I'd be able to use it or not, because I know I'm allergic to wool. I didn't know how I would be with alpaca. I think it's the lanolin in wool, and alpaca does not have lanolin. So I'm really excited about these, and so finishing my sun socks, I was able to bring these back out. Basically, where this stitch marker is when I put them back on working needles. So I had them on smaller needles to hold for a while, and so I put them back on, and it just worked a couple. But they are in my little bag here, so that I can just take them places with me. I wish I would have taken them with me last night when I went out to eat, because I ended up sitting around waiting for 10 or 15 minutes for people to be ready to go, and I was like, dang, I could have actually got quite a bit knitted during that time. But anyway, I'm excited to have these back out. hoping that I will get a lot of work on them. If you didn't know, the Crazy Sock Lady has summer sock camp. It actually, today being the Friday, 26th, is when she started. And she's doing really chill this year, which I don't mind because that's pretty much how involved I was anyway. So I'm hoping to actually, that maybe it will keep me going, get me some incentive to work on some socks. But if nothing else, I want to try to finish these maybe in June and do another pair in July and August. I mean, like, technically I could finish them, but I have so many other things like that sweater and stuff. But I do want to have, for sure, have these ones ready to wear when the weather gets cooler again, because I'm really excited about these. So got those. Excited. It's fun. They're soft because it's alpaca. I've been listening to some music, and they're affirmation songs, and there is a song called I Feel Like a Millionaire. And I thought about it, and I'm like, what would it take for me to feel like a millionaire? What kind of things would I want? And one of the things I realized is that I want to work with fancy yarns. And so right now, working on the drops cotton to me feels a bit fancy. It's not super expensive, but still, like, ordering it off the internet and having it shipped to me was pretty cool. There's something about working with the mandala yarn because it's such a soft yarn and in a weight that I haven't normally worked. It feels kind of fancy to me. Working with the alpaca feels fancy. So I'm actually starting to feel like it, but this is my favorite that helps me feel like I'm fancy. This is 100% silk. I got it from Hobie, and I think the color is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know that the internet will get it. This is a, it just reminds me, I'm going to put a link to Planet June's Temperature Snake, if I can remember, and a link to the bridal gloves. Those are both paid patterns, I think. Pretty sure the snake's a paid pattern. I know the gloves are. And then the socks are just a vanilla sock, so that's not a problem. But then this one also is a paid pattern. And I'm making a shawl, and it's just going to keep getting bigger. It's one of those kind. And it's super lightweight because this is like a super light fingering weight, 100% silk. I'm just so pretty. It's gorgeous, it's soft, it's lovely, and it makes me feel luxurious. So I'm excited to work on this one. I have that going. Did I miss anything? I have one more project in here I'll show you in a second. But I did pull out the watermelon sock yarn again. I had made myself sock yarn with this, and with it being crazy summer sock camp, I thought that it would be fun. This is the Regia Cotton Tutti Frutti, and I thought it would be fun to work up another pair. What I think I'm going to do is weigh my pair just to get an idea of what size socks I can make with what's left. I mean, like, technically I could make a shawl or something else with what's left. That would be fun too. But I was thinking it'd be fun to make a little pair of another pair of watermelon socks for somebody. Part of the reason why I don't want to cast them on right away though is my socks feel a little bit thick to me. I feel like with the cotton yarns, I might want to go up a needle size, and I don't have them right now. So, I mean, like, I technically have some wood ones, but I have learned that I really don't like working with any of the needles that I have that are cheaper. And so I want to wait until I have money to buy a larger set of probably Chalgu knitting needles. So that's a plan, and I have that out. So the other thing that I'm working on is actually something I want to try selling, and this is all over the place right now. And that is the memory turtle game. So the mom made, and I have one fully completed. She needs a button. One fully completed little mini turtle. They've got the colors on the bottom, and then they're just super cute, and it's a little memory game. And so there's going to be 10 sets of turtles, 2 with each color. I have all the bottoms made, so I just need to make the tops for all of the babies, and so on the button for the mama turtle, and then I want to sell this. So I'm really excited about it. Super cute, super fun, super fast. So that's my last current works in progress. I have a whole bunch of things on hold. I am trying to work off some of the things that I have on hold, but I really I guess I'm doing a lot of selfish knits right now, or selfish crochets, because the alpaca socks are for me. The sweater, I'm making it for me. It might not be for me. So, and then the mandala crochet along thing, that's for me. The snake probably is for me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it when it's done. But it's it's okay. Right now, I've been crocheting for 40 or so years, and I've rarely made things for me. I made decorations to a degree for me and stuff, but almost everything I've made is to give away. Every once in a while I'll make a scarf if I need a scarf. Like when I was knitting hats, I didn't even knit me a hat. I have knitted hats since, but that's been this year, because 2023 I decided I really want to make stuff for me. I can still make stuff for other people, but my main focus for knitting and crocheting is to kind of contribute to my wardrobe. So that's been a lot of what I've been doing. And it's not to say I haven't, because I'm as I'm thinking about it, I'm I've got a shawl in there that I made for me. So I have made things for me, but I've spent so much time making for other people. And in 2022, it seemed like everything I was doing was for somebody else. Almost everything. I made myself a pair of socks, and I made myself a gnome. I think that is the only thing I made for me last year. So kind of being, I don't know, I have so many projects I want to make for me right now, and I decided it's time to give a little attention to myself. So what else is going on? My healing business is kind of on hold. If people reach out to me, I will work with them, but it was so much pressure, and for not even making any money. And I finally you know what? No. I actually want to put most of my effort into this channel, which is why I've started doing tutorials again. I want to give love to this place. This is a place that I enjoy. I love making the things. I love making these videos. I love interacting with the other knitters and crocheters on YouTube. So right now, this is the place that feels best to be in. And then so the healing work is kind of on hold, and it's seriously was a huge weight off my shoulders. So that's pretty fascinating. Currently don't have a vehicle, and that's been a very hard month. It's been a really hard month. I definitely am in a major lack space right now. I am in a place where I'm finding out how much I believe people will help me. and how interesting it is to try. Thank goodness for groceries that can be delivered from stores, but it's still really hard because I want to be able to pick out my own produce, my own meat. But we've been able to survive and only had to have somebody take us to the grocery store a couple times in this month instead of our weekly trip. And there's been a lot of things we've missed out on and probably will miss out on. And I don't know when the car situation is going to be resolved. And the money situation is pretty scary, and I can't really take my kids to get jobs. It's been so hard, and I don't want to focus on the lack. I don't want to be in that negative space. So I've also been really truly working on how can I be more positive about this? How can I be focused on just really trusting that things are going to be okay. So I've been kind of playing around affirmation songs. Love them. They've been helping me keep positive. And I will link a little video I've made. It's on this channel, but it's private. I will link it up here if you want to go watch my review of affirmation songs. And the Leslie Householder, she wrote The Jackrabbit Factor, which is an amazing book for manifesting and stuff. And I don't think I have The Jackrabbit Factor anymore, but I have one of her other books. I was just looking over there and saw the other book that she wrote. It's also using some of the manifesting things, and I'm kind of reminding myself of those kind of things. I'm also really looking into how do I word that? I want to be the feminine person that I am. As a single mom, I'm really struggling because there is so much demand in my life for me to show up in masculine energy, and I don't like it. I don't like the energy. I don't like being in that. I want somebody else to be in that. So earlier this week, somebody said, "What do you crave?" And they said that I kind of explained what was going on and stuff. And so they said, "Oh, you're craving the perfect partner." And I was like, well, that's kind of weird, but in a way that is. I am looking for partnership. I am looking for my children to show up in partnership to help take care of the home. So it's not all on me. I am looking for part of the reason why the business is on hold is because it needs a partnership. It needs somebody else who does have that natural drive to market and to do some of the more masculine aspects of business so that I can remain in my feminine nurturing space. And so I have those, and yes, I do deeply crave a relationship and somebody to be my partner in life. And I crave for the people in my world around me to be willing to partner with me to help do these things. And instead of just this attitude of I should have to do it all on my own, I've really been thinking about the single mom life and how we just, as a society, think, oh, she's a single mom, she's got to do the role of dad too. But we don't talk about how it's not just that moms are trying, or dads that are have full-time care of their kids. We're not thinking about how, they're trying to do two roles and all the other stuff, because it's not just that I'm being the mom and trying to cover the things a dad would cover, but it's all of the emotional response to that, all of the emotional response to, I have no one to work with, to talk about the things that I have going on in my life, to help me solve the problems, no one else to help make the decisions. It's all 100% on me. And we don't think about that as much. Sometimes we do, especially if we've been there, that single parents, it's not just that they're doing the role of two people. It's so much more than that. And so, I deeply crave that. And that's kind of this place I'm in, doing my best to foster hope and positivity in myself. And I don't know that I'm doing a great job right now. It's really hard when there's been years of the opposite, to try to reprogram yourself when the results are kind of supporting this other way that you're trying to like move away from. And so this is where I'm at. Trying to be positive, trying to reprogram myself to be positive, and I'm not doing the bestest job. I'm doing better than I was. Mother's Day was nearly impossible for me. It was a super hard day. It was the hard days of that craving to have those partnerships, and of the hardness of being a single mom, and of the hardness of, it's been 3 years since my mom was alive, and all of the hardness that comes with that. This is coming out on Memorial Day weekend, and without a car, I don't get to go down to put flowers on graves, so I don't get to go down and put flowers on my mom's grave, or my sister's grave, or my grandparents' graves, or my aunt's grave. And it's like, if I could take one stop, and even we tend to like to go to a lot of the pioneer graves and great grandparents, and oh yeah, my other grandma. I have 2 cemeteries that if I could get a ride to those 2 places to leave flowers, then I would feel much better about missing the rest. And it's because I loved my grandma. She's the one that taught me to crochet. And she's buried in Salt Lake. And then my mom and my sister and my other grandparents and my aunt and those other people that are super close to me that I knew or wished I'd known, because I didn't ever know my sister. She died 2 years before I was born. If I could put flowers on those 2 graves, then I would feel so much better about not having a car. So that's where I'm at, and I know that's not super positive, but that's my life right now. Super taking all of my spoons just to stay on top of things. Almost got the yard somewhat presentable. The grass is like this tall, and so we have to weed whack it and then pull out all the sticks that came down off the tree and all the other things before we can even go over it with a lawnmower. So we have gotten 2/3 of the front yard done finally, and then we're gonna have to work on the side yard, and I really need to figure out something in the backyard because it's just full of weeds, and then the dog brings the weeds in and stress. So working on that a little bit at a time. Miney doesn't love it. The kids don't like to do anything unless I'm out there doing it with them. I guess I could use a partner. So see you in a couple weeks for our creative expression. See you next week for the tutorial. And I'm going now. I'm not going to continue to bug you with my life drama. And I just want to say, remember to let your light shine through your creations. And that's so cute. I'll see you guys next time.